everybody, this is Gary again from Spartan Cycle in Clinton Township, Michigan. Today what I'm going to do is just give you an overview of the 111 series motorcycles from Indian. So that's everything with the 111 air and oil cooled engine. This is our entry level point, and this is called the Chief Classic or Chief Dark Horse. Same bike, different paint, different chrome, etc. And this is 111 cubic inch, the same engine and transmission throughout the lineup. So all the engine and transmissions on these bikes are the same. The frames, I don't want to say they're the same, but they're pretty much very similar with little different rake and trail numbers to give you a different feel. These bikes are all offered as stripped down, and you can add things as you want a la carte: windshield, bags, engine guards, etc. Now at the top of the Indian Classic line is the Indian Vintage. That's taking the classics that are stripped down and decking them out. Now this bike has gone a little bit more than stock, so I don't want to give you the impression that this is a stock bike, but basically you're going to get a windshield, saddlebags, rear pillion, and rear pegs as standard equipment on a Vintage, as well as the chrome handlebars and chrome switch housings. There's a few other things that you're going to get on this bike, but the Indian Vintage has the same wheelbase, rake trail numbers, identical to the classics, which are our starting price point motorcycles. So new for 2018 is available black leather. Some people love the brown leather that the Vintage always came with. You had to get a Vintage in brown leather previously. This year we offer the black leather in a couple colors, one of them being the black and silver. The other thing they did was add the fringe to the black leather bags, which I absolutely love. I just love the way that bike looks. It's got the fringe on the skirt of the seat and the fringe in the bags, and this one again is pretty well decked out, so you can see what a beautiful classic bike you can build with just a few accessories from Indian. And the Springfield line is going to be similar to the rest of the touring bikes that we talk about in terms of wheelbase and rake and trail. And the rake and trail is the way they pull the forks in and out and rake it out or tuck it in. It's a little bit shorter bike, a little tighter package in terms of handling. It also has a little bit different rear suspension than the classic line. And this is going to be the Dark Horse, which is the basic Springfield. Now this is going to be the Springfield, just a straight up Springfield, not a Springfield Dark Horse like the one we had just seen. And this is going to be for the more guy who wants the more classic look, chrome, two-tone paint. Comes with the rear seat, rear passenger pegs, and more chromed up. But basically it's the same bike. So the difference between these two bikes are fairly minimal. The biggest difference you're going to see is this has the open style 19-inch wheel that a lot of people are really liking, and then the classic style fender on the front of the Springfield, which has that long skirted look, covers up the wheel, and the classic Indian head, which is of course lighted. The biggest difference in the Chieftain and the Springfield is the fairing on the front. Instead of a windshield that's detachable, you've got a fairing that's fixed to the motorcycle. It does not remove. It's not a removable. The other thing you're going to upgrade to is an electric windshield, so the press of a button is going to get you about 5 inches or so of travel up and down. With this bike, you're going to get a lower price point for starting. It's not going to have all the equipment that a Chieftain Limited or Chieftain Classic would have. The most obvious is no rear pillion, no rear pegs, no automatic locking system, so it's just with the key, and you don't get the navigation. You also don't get all the chrome accoutrements that the other Chieftain line gets, the Limited and the Classic, so this stuff is going to be just black. Then we go over to our Chieftain Dark Horse, which is essentially taking that bike, the same stripped down look across the back, but we're adding navigation, and then this bike's completely blacked out. So your bars are black, the switches are black. Same mechanically as this bike, other than the obvious, no pillion, and we're adding the navigation to this bike. Now this is our Chieftain Limited series, so what you're going to find on these bikes are a little more accoutrements, right? So we've got the machined front wheel instead of just being black like on the Dark Horse. Chrome switches, chrome handlebars, still full navigation and certainly the electric windshield. And as well as the Dark Horse, we've got locking luggage, so I can push the button just like a car. It's got a fob and you lock your luggage, and then obviously we can see the pillion and the rear pegs are standard on this motorcycle. Here are our Chieftain classics, not to forget that classic guy who loved the Indian fender, loves the chrome. So what we have is a 16-inch front tire instead of a 19. A little higher sidewall. The overall height of the tire is nearly identical, not worth talking about. But you've got the big skirted fender and the Indian head. The traditionalist is going to really love this bike. You've got the chrome piece on the front instead of the monochrome that the Limiteds have. Same electric windshield, same nav, same engine and chassis. Nothing has changed. You've got the rear pillion just like the Limited, and on the Classic they're going to give you the skirt with the optional fringe that you can peel off. Chieftain Elite, and they do a couple of these every 6 months or so. This one's based off the Chieftain. We had previously a Roadmaster version. What you get on these is a hand-painted motorcycle, 20 coats of paint, all hand-painted, completely individual. Each one's a little bit different and very similar to some other people's Highline motorcycles. They come with a lot of accessories. They've got billet mirrors, different windshield. I've got the billet boards front and rear. This bike's going to come with an additional 100 watts of sound in the saddlebags. Just a premium line motorcycle. Everything that Indian has available for this bike is on it from the factory, is ready to roll, and an absolute showstopper. You got to come in and look at this metal flake paint job. It's pretty incredible, and to know that they actually paint these bikes in Spearfish, South Dakota, one at a time, by hand. They're all done by hand, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really special motorcycle, so if you're looking for something unique and outside the box that everybody else has, this is it. From the Chieftain line, we go over to our top of the line touring bike. This is the ultimate in luxury touring. These are our Indian Roadmasters. What you're going to get on this bike above and beyond the Chieftain are a lot of touring accessories for two-up touring or solo touring. Full LEDs. So my spots are LED, my headlights LED. You'll notice that you get the classic fender on the Roadmaster versus the Limited, which we can put on optional. If you like that 19-inch open fender, we can certainly do that. On the Roadmaster, you're also going to get a taller windshield for better wind protection. You'll notice that you've got the lowers for bad weather and cold weather, which have some adjustments here. The airflow, either to your legs or away from your legs. You can open and close that. Heated grips. You're also going to get a heated leather touring seat. You're getting floorboards instead of pegs, where most of the 111s come with pegs. These come with boards. Notice already chromed on the back. Again, you've got locking luggage. Back of the bike, you'll notice you've got speakers in the rear for 200 watts of audio total. Nice wraparound feature here with some built-in armrests, factory removable. Again, all LED lighting in the rear with the turn signals, brakes, and LEDs up here in the trunk. Comes with the chrome rack. Look at the inside. So you'll see that the trunk is beautifully lined. You've also got a 12-volt source here. The other saddlebag has a 12-volt source, and you've also got a USB source in the dash of all the bikes with the fairing. They've all got that USB port. Here's one of the nicest things I like to demonstrate to people, ladies and gentlemen. Just listen to the sound of quality. That thing shuts like a Rolls Royce. So if you're interested in one of these 111 series motorcycles, come talk to myself, Gary or Brian here at Spartan Cycle. We'll entertain all trade-ins. We'd love to get you on one of these bikes, take it for a test ride if you like, and you can call us here at Spartan Cycle, Clinton Township, Michigan. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, ride safe.